was gravely injured and was worried, so I followed to check on you." Before he finished speaking, he revealed a sinister smile. "I happen to have quite a few sacred healing medicines. If Senior needs them." Yue cut him off coldly. "When you left, what was the state of the battle?" He remained composed. "The state of the battle? Well, I would say." Before he could finish his words, he had already drawn out his killing weapon. Then, he suddenly charged forward and said, "Senior Yue, why don't you go down and ask them yourself?" Seeing him suddenly rushing in with a hot weapon, she shouted sternly, "You dare!" Then, she also recognized the Xianyang Heaven Blade. Too shocked to react in time, Yue was struck by Gu Changa's slash, the blade aura piercing directly through her body. The sheer force of the blade aura shattered the ground, sending dust billowing into the air. Gravely wounded from the attack, Yue's body glowed with protective light as she gasped in astonishment, "Supreme! But before, you were only a quasi-supreme." He also took notice, saying, "Oh. This 7-colored celestial robe is quite a fine treasure." Cracks had already appeared on the 7-colored celestial robe. Yue murmured to herself, "Xianyang and Qishao. You killed them both. How ridiculous. I just want you to pass a message to my daughter, Shijiao. For over 6,000 years, I have owed her too much." Upon hearing this, he suddenly said, "I don't think that's necessary. You should tell her yourself." Yue was shocked. "My daughter, Shijiao. Don't tell me you've already killed her." He countered, "Daughter. Isn't she just another chess piece to you? The fact that she's still alive is already quite fortunate." With that, he put away the hot weapon, turned around, and walked away, saying as he left, "I won't kill you. Once you leave, just keep your mouth shut. Given your achievements, I doubt you'd be foolish enough to seek death." Yue thought in disbelief, he and Shijiao. This cold-blooded man actually spared me because of Shijiao. Then, she called out to him, "Wait, take this." With that, she tossed the 7-colored celestial robe to Gu Changa. Gu Changa didn't refuse and took it, saying, "Wait for me at the gate of life." Then, he continued toward the source of the demon realm's origin. Thinking to himself, if it fully matures, the demon realm may evolve to a higher level. At that point, a true demon immortal might be born. But to prevent any unforeseen complications, I can't wait any longer. Even if it's a waste, I must act immediately. Without hesitation, Gu Changa leaped up and directly devoured the demon realm's origin. Half a month later, a massive purple vortex appeared in the sky of the demon realm, causing widespread alarm and speculation. This celestial phenomenon has lasted for over 10 days. Could it be the end of our demon race? A heavenly calamity? Shijiao and the assembled gods had been observing the situation. One person asked, "What exactly is happening in the demon realm?" Another said, "I've lived my whole life and never seen such a cataclysmic phenomenon." The Grand Preceptor, drenched in sweat, said anxiously, "Your Majesty, this matter." Shijiao reassured him, "Do not panic. Though the phenomenon is immense, the sky is not about to fall." Despite her words, she secretly pondered, could this be related to Gu Changa's purpose in coming to the demon realm? "Just what are you doing?" Hearing this, Luotian snorted coldly, completely unafraid. "He's suspicious by nature, he'll only think you're trying to sow discord. Do you really think he'd believe you?" Suddenly, Bai Liener took out a shadowstone. Luotian was shocked and horrified. "You're despicable." Just then, a pillar of purple light shot up from the bottom of the well, startling everyone. "Someone is coming out. This aura is terrifying." The power of the purple light gradually converged. And then, Yu stepped out. "It's the Demon Emperor." Jiang Luotian broke into a cold sweat and muttered nervously, "It's over. Gu Changa must be dead." Bai Liener sent a voice transmission, "Don't act rashly, or you'll die without even knowing how." Luotian asked, "That guy is really dead?" Bai Lianer countered, weren't you just celebrating a moment ago? Jun Bufan recognized her and said, that's the demon emperor Yu, Shi Jiao's mother. Song Yue added, this is my first time seeing an existence at the demon emperor level. Jun Bufan excitedly exclaimed, so that means father and the others won. Yu glanced at those below and also recognized them. Jun Ruoshi, and the one beside her must be Jun Bufan. The young man was still oblivious, laughing maniacally like a madman. Ha ha ha. Gu Chang'e plotted so much, only to get himself killed in the end. At that moment, Gu Chang'e poked his head out and asked in surprise, Who got played? Bai Lianer and Luoshan shouted in unison, Gu Chang'e. Jun Ruoshi was in disbelief. The demon emperor Yu and my father are sworn siblings. What is going on? Jun Bufan was even more shocked, demanding, you're not dead. Then where is my father? Gu Chang'e feigned ignorance and said, you're asking me. How would I know? Wasn't the Xianyang demon emperor supposed to have fallen 6,000 years ago? Jun Bufan, utterly dumbfounded, stammered, what? You. Jiang. Luoshan, seeing him, felt a strange sense of security and thought to herself, why does his presence feel so reassuring? Meanwhile, Bai Lianer silently assessed him, his cultivation is even more unfathomable than before. At this, Gu Chang'e said, let's return to the imperial capital. He turned to Yue and said, oh, catching Jun Bufan this time was largely thanks to you, Miss Yue. I'll make sure to inform Shijiao. Hearing this, Yue could only call out, young Master Chang'e. Gu Chang'e continued, and Miss Junjiao, when we return, I'll ask Shijiao to spare your family. Junjiao thanks young Master Chang'e. Before she could finish, he interjected, Miss Junjiao, your name always reminds me of a fool who wears a mask. Junjiao was stunned. Huh? A fool with a mask? Meanwhile, seeing the three of them interact closely, Jun Bufan raged, no wonder Gu Chang'e found me so easily. Yue, sister, I never thought you two would betray me. Junjiao immediately retorted, I am not your sister. Yue added, you feel like a stranger to me. Jiang Luoshan stepped forward and slapped Jun Bufan hard across the face, scolding, wake up. You're not even as good as Gu Chang'e. The scene shifted to Shijiao, who was still gazing up at the sky. The anomalies in the demon realm have finally disappeared. What the hell is that guy up to? Was it really just a mutually agreed transaction between us? Suddenly, Brother Gu unexpectedly appeared. Is Her Majesty thinking about me? Hearing the voice, she turned around and asked with a smile, has young Master Chang'e finally decided to return? You actually. She abruptly widened her eyes in shock and exclaimed, you are. Yu, standing beside Gu Chang'e, spoke, Shijiao, you've suffered a lot over the years. Mother has let you down. Said, the strength and achievements of this young master of the Gu family are truly rare in my lifetime. If you have feelings for him. Shijiao immediately replied, he is already engaged. Things are fine as they are between us. By the way, mother, how did you meet him? All these years, Yu answered, I'll tell you slowly. The scene shifted to another location. Jun Jiao saw her father being released and shouted excitedly, Father. The old man, seeing his daughter, sighed with emotion, Jiao, this time, it's all thanks to your connection with young Master Chang'e. Oh, right, I heard he's going back to the upper realm soon. If you want to follow him as a concubine. She immediately interrupted, Father, it seems that young Master Chang'e doesn't really like my name. The old man was puzzled, Hearing this, Gu Chang'e smiled and said, if you can't bear to part, you can come with me. Bai Lianer, seeing that he was flirting again, quickly pulled Luoshan along, saying, let's go first. As Jiang Luoshan was being dragged away, she still found time to tease him, young Master Chang'e, aren't you afraid that your Minkong will get jealous? I saw it, today, you brought back another queen. Looks like it's not just for show, huh? Hearing this, Gu Chang'e frowned. Then he recalled the scene where Mingkong threatened with his sword. Shi Jiao, standing beside him, said, "This emperor is not accustomed to being a concubine." Mingkong angrily cursed, "Gu Chang'e, either she dies or I do. You decide." Thinking of this, he said no more, turned around, and left. "Take care. If I have time in the future, I'll come to see you. The demon realm still needs you." Hearing this, Shi Jiao nodded in agreement. "All right." Soon, Gu Chang'e's figure gradually disappeared into the teleportation array. At that moment, Yue said, "Maybe within half a month, she'll be pregnant." Shi Jiao replied, "He is a heartless man, he wouldn't let such a thing happen." Yue smiled slightly. But he is not entirely without feelings. Burial demon abyss erupted, demonic energy surged into the sky, and Xiankong Buddhist temple was nearly destroyed. Many monks in the Buddha mountains lost their lives, and even one of the Buddhas was unable to suppress it. Upon hearing this, he thought, "It seems she is finally about to emerge. How much must she hate me?" My best disciple. In the scene, a demoness clad in red wielded her sword and charged out, brimming with murderous intent. In a picturesque location, Qingdi was sitting by the water, playing with it. Gu Chang'e arrived through the air, and she looked up, asking, "You're here?" He replied, "I came to see you and to check on the little one." The little white creature in the water was lively, chasing after fish. Qingdi said indifferently, "There's nothing interesting about me." Without hesitation, Gu Chang'e praised, "No, you're very beautiful. Xiao Bai's strength has increased significantly recently. You've worked hard." At that moment, a giant dragon carp charged forward, attempting to swallow Xiao Bai. However, Qingdi remained unconcerned and said, "It eats a lot on its own, so it grows quickly." Xiao Bai opened its mouth and directly swallowed the massive fish whole. Qingdi continued, "I just watch it eat every day and do nothing else." Gu Chang'e took out a few ornaments and said, "I brought you some small gifts from the demon realm." Qingdi picked up a comb and asked, "Speak. What do you want?" He didn't beat around the bush and said directly, "I want Qingdi to go to the burial demon abyss and check on the state of the seal there." Qingdi replied, A moment later, "Father, you called for me?" "Yes, the boundary sea of the 8 desolations and 10 domains is about to dry up." "Isn't the 8 desolations and 10 domains the place that, according to legend, fought a great war with the upper realm epochs ago?" Back then, the 8 desolations and 10 domains were defeated and had no choice but to retreat. The remaining strongest territories joined forces to condense the lower realm's boundary sea at the borders, imbued with an insurmountable power. The stronger one's cultivation, the harder it is to cross. Even Tao achievers are powerless against it. It has become a barrier between the upper realm and the 8 desolations and 10 domains. The old father agreed. Indeed, legend has it that only when the 2 realms merge will the immortal path reappear, and cultivators can break the curse and become immortals. Now, the great orthodoxy factions have decided to launch an expedition. While the laws collapse, they will cross the boundary sea and unify the 2 realms. Gu Chang'e respectfully cupped his hands and asked, "So, does father intend for me to lead our clan in expanding our territory?" Hearing the words, emperor level, Gu Chang'e thought to himself, "Those guys. I've already killed 4 of them." But on the surface, he simply asked, "Then, father, you summoned me for?" The old father continued, "Among the younger generation, your prestige is the highest. You should rally our clan's elites and all affiliated forces." To Mingkong, this journey to the demon realm was fraught with danger. My husband, wise and courageous, engaged in both wits and combat against the demon emperor's son. In the end, he saw through the demon emperor's scheme. For the greater good, my husband had to rely on his meager quasi-supreme cultivation to barely contend with a Tao-attaining being of the demon realm. Just as he was about to collapse, it was Mingkong who granted him power, allowing him to overcome his formidable foe. This divine robe is an extraordinary treasure, I hope my wife will not disdain it. After reading the letter, she said, still spouting nonsense, and even writing letters. But this is indeed a true protective treasure. Upon hearing this, he pondered to himself, half a year. That's fine, I can go find Tao Xian for information. Although my memory hasn't fully recovered, the one who knows her best now is Tao Xian. But if I go alone? He immediately envisioned a group of old men surrounding him, interrogating, you've come to Peach Village again? Want to see Lady Tao Xian? Why isn't Sienna with you? Did you harm her again? Woo, my poor Sienna. Thinking of this, he clicked his tongue. Seeing this, Qingdi asked, oh. What's wrong? He replied, I hate those troublesome old men. Moments later, a subordinate reported, Master, ever since Lady Sienna went to the Taishu Divine Tomb, she descended to the lower realm. On her own and has yet to return. He asked, do you know where that girl went? The subordinate replied, the Tianlan realm. He snorted, the Tianlan realm. Isn't that where the Shen family resides, the lower realm of Sienna's maternal clan? That place isn't far from the boundary marker C. This upcoming war with the 8 desolations and 10 domains might affect that area. According to Yan Ji's investigation, Sienna's grandfather once hunted there years ago, intending to refine blood treasures for her, but he was unfortunately caught in the massive waves beneath the boundary marker C and has been missing ever since. Later, her parents went searching for him, and to this day, they have yet to return to the Gu family. Sienna probably went to bring them back this time. She's been gone for so long, most likely because of me. Looks like I'll have to go and explain in person. The scene shifts to the Tianlan realm. Tian Ni's mother smiled and said, Tian Ni doesn't need your flashy moves. Tian Ni pouted, Mother, as long as father teaches it, I want to learn it. She hugged her mother, thinking to herself, after my accident back then, my parents and grandfather severed ties with the Gu family and stayed with my mother's family to heal my injuries. That's why my younger sister, who was born later, took my mother's surname. I really wish I could stay with them forever. At that moment, Shen Yener also stepped forward and asked, is father demonstrating moves for sister again? Seeing her, Tian and I asked, what's wrong? You seem a little down. Yener lowered her head and answered, Sister, granduncle and the others are arguing fiercely over my marriage. Her mother sighed, Yener's engagement was originally arranged by your grandfather and maternal grandfather. Back then, before your accident, they went to the boundary sea to hunt a rare beast to help with your cultivation but ended up getting trapped there. But despite all efforts, your father and I couldn't break through the massive waves beneath the boundary sea. Later, when we learned of your misfortune, we returned to the Shen family, and only afterward was Yener born. Many years later, Li Tu and his mysterious master happened to pass by and rescued your grandfather and maternal grandfather. Because of that, Yener's engagement was arranged. Afterward, Li Tu's master took him away to an unknown place. It wasn't until 3 years ago that Li Tu suddenly appeared, demanding that Yener fulfill the engagement. But now his spiritual seat is shattered, he's nothing but a cripple. Suddenly, Tian Ni's father stepped forward and said, I don't think Li Tu is that simple. For the past 3 years, he's done nothing but tend to flowers and plants in the courtyard, his demeanor is more like that of a hidden expert. Yener's mother added, the key issue is that Yener is devoted to the Tao. They've only met a few times, yet they were betrothed. For life. Isn't that too unfair? Yener sighed, Father, Mother, there's no need to say more. Given my current status in the family, no one dares to force me. Gu Tian and I patted her sister's shoulder and said, this matter is indeed problematic. However, over the past 3 years, our Shen family has spent a lot of resources on him. In truth, we don't owe him anything. When the time comes, we just need to offer some compensation. If his mysterious master returns and is dissatisfied, he can state his own demands.